Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being on my show. I'm Armando F. Sanchez, Armando F. Sanchez Production. And today's guest comes in from Pennsylvania, a Latino who shares his heart in California but lives in Pennsylvania. And one of the things that brought my attention to Ruben Botello was his outstanding effort to consistently, day by day, 7 days a week, he's always sending out materials called Chicano. And I volunteer and I recommend our viewers to join in on getting his information. It's very dynamic, it's very broad, and I've been receiving it for several weeks. And finally I said, you know, who is this great gentleman sending me all this great stuff? Such a huge promoter for Latino information, Latino news, Latino updates. So I've decided, you know, I've got to bring him into the show, and I want to share him with all of us, with the idea that you also benefit from contacting him, getting his information, and also looking at what he's trying to do and find ways that we can support his efforts. Ruben, thank you for being on our show today.
Thank you for inviting me, Armando.
Now, Ruben, let's go a little bit about the good old days, you know, when you were a little kid. We're not going to talk about the things you shouldn't have done because I think we all have those records as well. But let me read a little bit of your bio here. You're an ardent Chicano advocate since 1970. That takes you back a while. You're a disabled United States Marine Corps Vietnam veteran, Aztlan activist, chaired MEChA organizations at Long Beach City College, Ventura College, Cal State Northridge, and Humboldt State University. You attended college with a GI Bill. You have a law degree, and you finished in 1980, and is now, as you quoted, battling for La Raza on the World Wide Web, and that's fantastic. I mean, most people sometimes would say at your age, you know, Ruben, you should be relaxing, you should be stressing out about things, you should be enjoying yourself, but you seem to be doing the exact opposite. You are out there pushing information. Tell us, you know, your background, and then we're going to get as to why you're doing this today.
Well, I was born and raised in Texas, down near Corpus Christi, where Ramsey Muniz is from, 20 miles from Corpus Christi. And of course, as most Chicanos down there, we were poor and very proud of who we were, and went through a lot of discrimination in our schools as we grew up. And so I knew what racism was right away before, you know, I even got to junior high or middle school. And it caused me a lot of grief and suffering. And I held on thanks to becoming a musician. I learned music very well, and that got me through high school, just wanting to be in the band. And then in the senior year of my high school time, I moved, my whole family moved to California, Oxnard, Ventura County. That was 1965, 64, 65. And I finished high school there in Camarillo, California.
Yes.
And then, but I was pretty depressed, Chicano from Texas, because that's where I was from, and I missed Texas a lot. So I joined the Marines. That's what good Chicanos do, you know. If we finish high school, we join the Marines. If we stay out of trouble as far as the law, that's what we do, and that's what I did. And my big brother was a Marine too, and so wound up in Vietnam soon enough, and saw more discrimination there, racism, not only directed at Latinos, Chicanos, but also African Americans, and of course the Vietnamese people that we are supposed to be defending and all that. They were treated just like we were in Texas, very badly. And so I just began to awaken to what really was going on in the name of freedom and democracy in our country, and how great it was and all that. So when I came back from Vietnam, I was very troubled, and you know, wound up homeless and such. And I figured out, well, maybe if I go to college on the GI Bill, at least I'll have an income, and I'll be able to pay rent and maybe get something going in my life. So I went first to Ventura College, and then to Long Beach City College. And there I saw this group of Latino students called, I don't know, UMAS or something like that, Mexican American Student Association of sorts. And I thought, gee, I think we should be a part of the Chicano movement that was going on there in LA, East LA especially. That was 1970. And so I started a MEChA at Long Beach City College. And also we got involved in the anti-war movement. And that was about the time that Ruben Salazar got murdered. And
East Los Angeles in the bar.
So that even inspired me more. I even took journalism classes, and I was always a good writer and speller. So being Chicano, that's unusual. And I just took advantage of that, you know, that I could write and spell and communicate fairly well. I got better at it.
You could think, you had thoughts.
Yeah. In English, you know, of course, we're English North American racist society where English, you know, is shoved down our throats. So, and, you know, when I started school, first grade in Texas, I didn't know any English at all. And in the second grade, I didn't know English, but I kind of started cheating. The little white girls in front of me, I just copied what they were doing. And the teachers didn't seem to mind. So I got through that way until I actually learned how to read and write in English. And I was out smarter than all of them. By the third grade, I was smarter than the whole class. But by college and after Vietnam, I was smart. I was smart, but yet I was restless and rather disturbed by the war experience, and just started getting involved in the Chicano movement, and it kind of helped me straighten my head out and made me realize who I was, that I was okay. And so I got through junior college. I got my AA degree in journalism, BA in political science, and a Juris Doctorate by 1980. And I had a rough time then, marital problems. I had 2 sons I had to raise by myself. And so that kind of threw me out of the ballpark as far as practicing law. But since I had my law degree, I was not going to throw it away. I was going to put it to use. So I used it even more so to fight for la raza, la causa, los Chicanos. And I never stopped. I never stopped. It's in my heart, my soul, to fight for la causa. And people who have stopped around me, many at Cal State Northridge, at Ventura, at Long Beach City, at Humboldt State, Chicanos and MEChAs, and everything we did, we were strong. But then most of those camaradas have gone by the wayside. Many have died. Others just basically sold out, just disappeared. But I'm still at it. And I thank God for the internet, because I'm at 70 years old. I'm not very healthy anymore, but I can get on the internet and kick ass every day for hours and hours. And really, if you think about it, in the 60s, 70s, our main thing as Chicanos in the movement was to communicate our dissent to what was going on against our people. And so, yeah, protests, marches, make leaflets, brochures, que viva la raza and all that. And it's the same thing on the internet now. I feel like with Facebook and Twitter, I'm shouting out, que viva la raza, que viva la raza. And we can't stop because it's getting so much worse for our people. So basically, that's where I'm at now. I'm so wrapped up in fighting for la justicia as a Chicano that I just thank God for the internet, because I'm really not able to move around or organize protests or demonstrations and all those things I used to do, or get people together and all that. And it's hard now, but on the internet, we can do a lot. And I'm just hoping and that others will be inspired to join me and us in fighting for la causa on the internet. The power of the word, the power of la palabra, the things we're saying, the things we're doing online mean a lot. And of course, most of our people are not that educated and able to communicate even, in writing or in print. So we have an obligation, a responsibility as educated Chicanos to do what we can for our people. And so
Well, again, I applaud your efforts because it's, on a daily basis. I get it morning, midday, afternoon, and I never tire of receiving it. So please keep sending it. As a matter of fact, let's take a second here to invite our viewers to be able to link on to yours and also be receiving the information and benefiting as I have from your information. How can people connect with you? Social media, what way can people contact you?
Well, the best way, the easiest way, if you are internet literate, is to email me at earthbeat, one word, EARTHBEAT at comcast.net. That's my email address. And from there, I can direct you to all my different Facebook pages and places where I do provide daily news and information about La Raza and La Causa. And one of the big things right now, of course, is the war against immigrants by Trump and his redneck administration. We're fighting that tooth and nail to the end. So everyone needs to learn more about that. We think of ourselves sometimes as Chicanos, as well, U.S. citizens, native born and all that. But La Raza is all of us across the Americas and Caribbean islands, over 650 million of us. This is our land, and we should not be treated as foreigners here, regardless of what country we were born in the Americas. The Anglo is a foreigner, and they need to learn that either they respect us or they get out. We shouldn't be the ones to be getting out, because we were here from the beginning. This is our land. And they need to learn that. And just like they're trying to assimilate us, we need to assimilate them and make them realize that we're just like them, really. They're like us. It's no reason for racism or discrimination. And so that's a big thing right now. All the immigrants of the Americas have to be defended by us.
Now, you said you're a Tejano, and I know you have a little bit of the heart for Californians. But tell me what it's like to be a ardent Chicano movimiento supporter in Pennsylvania.
Well, it's kind of like paradise, like being on Paradise Island or something. Like what would you call it? Those guys, Gilligan. It's kind of like being Gilligan on an island. I can do everything right here sitting down on this keyboard. I mean, this keyboard is mightier than the sword. As they say, the pen is mightier than the sword. Well, the keyboard is mightier than the sword. So I'm really here doing my work here. And I don't really, my neighbors are all nice people. I'm very friendly. They're friendly with me. I have a lot of friends around here and in other towns. And, they don't have to be Chicano or Latino or anything. They're just human beings. And as I see, as far as being in Pennsylvania, they're good people here. And I believe that most people, even most Americans, white Americans, all Americans care about me and immigrants and Latinos and everything, but they're being led by some real mean, evil people in government who are trying to turn us against each other. So it's exciting. I prefer actually to be around my people in Aztlan. Pero for now, it's like I'm a Marine. Wherever they put me, that's where I serve. And that's really the way I see it. I'm a Marine. I can take this. And it's ta cabrón a veces, pero ¿y qué? Nothing new for us.
One of the things that is I didn't mention in your bio, but I see it, your communication, that not only are you very ardent supporter for Latinos, but you also deal a lot with Latinos from the Caribbean islands, yes, Puerto Rico and all that. I see you inclusive of that, which is something a lot of people don't do. I like what you're doing in that aspect. Tell us why you do that.
Well, I've never felt different than a Cubano or Puerto Riqueño or de Nicaragua or de Costa Rica, por allá. Somos todo lo mismo. I mean, we're like, somos familia. I don't see the difference other than what people are trying to tell us that we're different. Oh, our nationality. Oh, somos esto or otro. No, we're all one familia. And if you look at it, La Raza, we're not just brown. We're white, we're black, we're red, we're Asian. We're all the races of the world. We're all the religions of the world. We're all the cultures and traditions and nationalities, ethnicities. We're everything. La raza is all of us. And they try to say, oh, it's racist. No, chale. La raza means all people in essence. The only problem is some of the white people in the Americas want to separate themselves from non-whites like us because they think they're better or they want to believe they're better, but they need to be educated that we're all una familia. And La Raza, yes, we're different culturally because we're Spanish speaking and we have our own traditions and cultures and so forth, but we're still part of the network of the human race, the humanity. Y como Jose Vasconcelos was saying, la raza cósmica, really we are. And I believe that, and I don't want to forget that. And no matter how many Chicanos yell at me, no, Chicanos primero, Charlie, all of us primero, you know, all of us. And so la raza, to me, we need to look at ourselves that way, because that's 650 million of us. The majority in this continent, the Western Hemisphere. It's like going to Africa and say, oh, from South Africa, the blacks from South Africa are different from the rest. No, Charlie, they're all blacks. They're all Africans. Y lo mismo con nosotros. We're all Latinos. We're all la raza. And we're una familia.
Well, like you said, you're a political scientist, so there is the theory, which is very old, divide and conquer. So as long as people are kept maintained separately, they don't understand that they could unify and be one source.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
So that term keeps resounding in my head. Before we continue, could you please give us your contact information one more time, please?
Okay, Earthbeat, EARTHBEAT at Comcast.net. And on Facebook, if you look up my name, Ruben Botello, RUBEN, Botello, BOTELLO, como botella, pero Botello. Ya no tomo. So
okay, yeah, well, yeah, because I came across your Facebook, and like I said, I'm just overwhelmed by how much wonderful material you keep
always
sending.
Be there.
I keep pulling it, so you know I can see you that. On the other aspect of the whole idea of what do you see, like you said, you made a strong emphasis that people can use the internet to share ideas. Do you think enough Latinos, Chicanos, Raza are using the internet to promote ideas?
I think quite a few are, and quite a few more will. In tiempo, our youth, our juventud, they're learning internet, they're learning computers 10 times more than we ever learned at our age. They really are coming up in the schools, and I think they're going to be like my son is has a master's degree in computers technology. My other kids, I can see they know coding, they know how to program computers and all these powerful things I don't know. All I can barely do is type, and but they know and they can, and the only thing they lack sometimes is the understanding, the education about who Chicanos are, Latinos are, La Raza, and our true history and heritage. And so that's where I try to shoot out that information so they can see, hey, that's me, that's my people. I can also join this and help. Because I know young kids, teenagers can know more about computers than I do. So they're coming. A lot of them are coming. Some are already there. But as far as consciousness, they need to learn. Como in Cal State Northridge, a Chicano studies, I learned a lot from people like Rudy Acuña and Raúl Ruiz and several professors there, Fermín Herrera. So many that taught me that what a Chicano is. And Ray Rodriguez at Long Beach City College, a Chicano, he awoke me from my stupor. When I came back from Vietnam, I was brainwashed. And he just said, you know, you're a Chicano, you should be proud of that. So we need our young to be aware of who they are and who their parents and ancestors are and what they've given, their sacrifices for our people. And because we're good people, that's why we don't fight back with violence so much like other people, because we are good people, and we this is our country, this is our land. So,
I don't know if you know that I interviewed Rudy Acuna, and I do have some shows on him as well. So I've done Rudy several times, and so it's been a great world. And like you said, the Northridge group and some of the others in other campuses, you don't get the publicity, but they also have major influence. One last thing, we're getting close to the end of the show, unfortunately, but one last thing that pops out in my head, thanks to what you said, is that if you had not come out of Texas, and I'm not have anything against Texas, I'm just using that because that's where you were. If you hadn't come down and sort of gone to other places, maybe you would have never figured out that, wait a minute, being discriminated is only a certain area. It's not done everywhere in the world. And then through education, you said, wait a minute, why is this racism toward me? And then you had the awakening to the point where you are today, saying, you're telling people, wake up, people, these things are being used against you. And you're giving up your own pride and your own background just because you believe that you should be something else you can't be.
Exactly. We're brainwashed that way, our kids and myself. I joined the Marines because I thought that's what Chicano is supposed to do. And I was brainwashed, and it took me college. And of course, most Chicanos don't want go to college, so they don't get unbrainwashed, so to speak. I got unbrainwashed by Chicano studies, and that was vital. I mean, that was a lifesaver, really. I'd be dead, I'm sure. I was a drunk and drugs and whatever, and lost, perdido, until I got into Chicano studies and learned who I was and who we are, all of us are. And the divide and conquer is they turn us against each other and to kill each other. And I went against that.
And then the other thing is, very quickly, you activated the thought in my head that there is a very aggressive attack against ethnic studies in Arizona and in Texas.
Oh, yes.
Get rid of that. That they're saying, oh my God, this is a communism that these kids are going to learn.
Yes, all the progress we've made, they're going against all of it, every bit of it. They're going against it. And they've been studying us all this time as we work to pull ourselves out of poverty and into education and so forth. They've been studying us, and now they're working against us to destroy everything we built for our people. And they want to keep us in poverty, exploited and oppressed for the rest of our lives. That's what they want. And so if a leader like Ramsey Moniz, look what they did to him. He was such a powerful leader, and look what they did to him. And I'm surprised they haven't done that to me yet. Pero aquí estoy, si quieren. If you hear something about me going down, you know what's going on.
Ruben, one more time, if okay. We're about ready to close the show, but Ruben, one more time, can you please give us your contact information?
Again, Ruben Botello, or Earthbeat, EARTHBEAT at Comcast.net. Start there, and I'll show you where to go from there.
Okay. As we're ready to show, I'm going to give you the closing moments of the show. Give it your shot.
Que viva la raza!
That's the sweetest, shortest message I've had yet in any of my shows. Congratulations on that one.
Armando.
Ruben, thank you very much. And thank you. That touches my heart as well. And thank you for your work. Thank you for, keep sending me stuff every day. I try to read maybe 90% of it. Sometimes I can't get to it, but I save it. I go back to it. But you're very dynamic. I applaud what you're doing. You should get many awards because you're one of the few people that make sure we're not going to forget on a daily basis. So I'm glad we had the chance to talk. I look forward to having shows in the future with you and some of your compadres and comadres and people that that also have the same energy and passion, and doing this into a group show. And I'm saying it out loud here so that, I'm on the record of saying it as well. But thank you very much. And you and your familia for helping you to connect. I know we had some issues trying to get the internet connection, but you worked that out at your end.
Yeah, we did it.
All right, Ruben.
All right.
Thank you very much. And then we look forward to talking to you and staying in contact. Keep sending us that materials. And for our listeners and our viewers, please take him at heart. Write to him. He'll send you the information. You will not regret getting all the wonderful information. It's top-notch. It's professional. It's really across the gamut, and it'll just bring an education to us. And stay safe in Pennsylvania, and we'll hope to have you again on the show, Ruben.
Okay, Armando. Gracias.
Okay. Adios.
Adios.